Good morning, and thank you for joining us. Today we remember a tragic and transformative event in our community's history. At dawn on August 21st, 1863, a band of about 450 Confederate guerrillas attacked Lawrence. In the 4 hours that followed, the raiders killed at least 150 men and boys, leveled numerous businesses and homes, and left 85 women widowed and 245 children fatherless. In the wake of this tragedy, survivors mourn their losses and determined to rebuild and bring Lawrence back stronger than ever. From the ashes of the raid rose our city's legacy of determination and resilience. To commemorate the people lost in the raid, we hold an annual memorial service in which we ask Lawrence community leaders to read the list of known victims. Now I ask our guests to begin the reading.
George J. Albach, Charles R. Allen, Clay Allen, Duncan C. Allison, George Always, Charles Anderson, John Anderson, James Argyle, Captain George W. Bell, Samuel Bowers, R. Brandt, Joseph Brechtelsbauer, Dennis Burns, Michael Burns, George Burt, Judge Lewis Carpenter, Charles Clona, and Charles Cloud.
George W. Coate, Dwight L. Coleman, Mayor George W. Collimore, James Cooper, James F. Cooper, John A. Cornell, P. Cornell, John Lewis Crane, John Daigle, Ralph C. Dix, Stephen H. Dix, Sylvester Dolinsky, Frank Dyer, George Early, Carl Ekman, August Ellis, James Eldridge.
Frank Ellis, John Engler, Philip Engelsman, John Z. Evans, Lemuel Fillmore, James B. Finley, Edward P. Fitch, Joseph Frank, John Frawley, Levi Gates, Levy Gentry, George Gerard, Anthony Gieball, A. Giffler, John B. Gill, Mr. Goldman.
John R. Green, Fortune Gregg, Abner Griswold, Dr. Jerome F. Griswold, Walter B. S. Griswold, Aaron Halderman, Mr. Hanson, Chester D. Hay, Mr. Hendricks, Charles Henry, Calvin Hodge, Nathan Holmes, Ben Johnson, M. Johnson, son of Peter and Mary Jones and Samuel Jones.
George Kelmer, Patrick Keefe, Frederick Kimball, William Clares, Frederick Klaus, William Klaus Jr., W.M.R. Kleffler, Mr. Lambert, O.O. Lambert, John W. Laurie, William Laurie, Christian Leaner, Mr. Leonard, Henry Limbach.
John Little, Otis Longley, Richard Loomis, Joseph G. Lowe, Michael Macklin, Amos McClellan, Daniel McClelland, Jacob McFadden, Mr. McFarland, David Markle, Louis Cass Markle, Samuel Markle, Michael Martin, Robert Martin.
Michael Meeky, Dennis Murphy, James Murphy, Thomas Murphy, Thomas Eugene Murtha, W. Nathan, Gottlieb Early, Anthony Oldham, James O'Neill, George Page, Charles A. Palmer, Daniel W. Palmer, Asbury Parker, Isaac J. Parker, James Perrin, Jacob Pollock.
George Pope, David H. Purrington Jr., George Range, Samuel Range, Alois Reed Miller, Samuel Jeremiah Reel, Charles F. Riggs, Jacob Roach, George N. Sanger, George H. Sargent, Charles Smith, John Swab, Charles Smith, Reverend Samuel S. Snyder, John M. Spear Jr., Robert Spear,
Henry Stewart, Captain Nathan Stone, Benjamin Stonestreet, Louis Swan, Simeon M. Thorpe, Josiah C. Trask, E. P. Tridge, David Turk, John Watson Carpenter, John Watson Recruit, William Addison Waugh, Mr. White, William T. Williamson, James Wilson, Louis Wise, Andrew J. Woods, and John K. Zimmerman.
In honor of the known and unknown victims of the raid, we now offer a moment of silence. Thank you for joining us for today's memorial service and helping us honor those whose sacrifice is at the heart of our community's identity and whose stories are a treasured part of our heritage. You can flip over the memorial service program that was on your seat to see the full schedule for Civil War on the Border. At 11 a.m., we will begin our next program here in the community room. Thank you for joining us.